Siberian Tigers. Beautiful Siberian Tigers. Hello Fredlings, this is Claude from Chicago and we're back with another Planet Zoo video here in FredTopia Zoo. And if you are new or old to the channel, hit that like button and hit that subscribe button. It really helps out the channel and you might just make somebody's day, myself or other YouTube content creators. It is so important for everyone to always like a video if you really enjoy it. It takes 1 second of your day and it's free. You don't have to subscribe, but liking really can make somebody's day, which we'll talk a little bit about later. Now, we are building the Siberian Tiger exhibit right next to our Snow Leopard exhibit, which is in our last episode, which is pinned in, or not pinned, the link is in the description to our entire Planet Zoo playlist down below. And I say this nearly every episode. I think I didn't say it last episode, but I'm going to say it this episode. This is by far the greatest exhibit we've built. I think every episode I'm pushing myself so hard and just to try to one up what you guys saw last week. And I'm so happy that you guys down below are commenting every episode and liking and sharing. It means my day so much because I pushed myself so hard, and this is actually the first time-lapse video that I actually did it all in one session, which I think was like 3 or 4 hours, which relatively is short for a time-lapse video, which, well, it's a time-lapse video, so it's getting pushed through really quickly, but before we go, every animal in this series is a viewer-suggested animal that I picked the 3 animals from, and we're going to pop up on screen right about now the 3 animals you could choose from. You could comment down below the timber wolf, the greater flamingo, or the silverback gorilla that we can put in our episode next week. So make sure you comment down below. If you don't see my comment down there that's pinned, then just type this out. It's also in the description if you need a little bit of help with spelling, because I can't spell for my life. But those are the animals you could choose for next week. But let's get back to the Siberian tiger. This is something that I wanted to do in last week's episode, but I wanted to make last week's episode a little bit fancy. And this week, of course, we have to one that up. And I take the same general size box and create it in a different, more of a rectangle this time. Last time we sort of did a square, now we do a rectangle. Also, by the way, if you're curious right now, what we're doing on the heat maps is apparently there's not garbage bins around here. I thought the staff keepers take out the garbage themselves, but maybe I'm thinking wrong. I don't know. By the way, this is actually a good point to point it out right now too, that we put these garbage bins here so people won't actually glitch through the wall. But that's just something that that was bugging me while doing this. So sorry we took that little break there, but this is a rectangle exhibit and I wanted to give them a little bit of a hidden room in the back over here, which is a place the animals can hide away from guests so they're not stressed out and they're hidden away. So we get 2 tigers, 1 female and 1 male, and they absolutely love the exhibit because they have all their needs actually satisfied like quite quickly, except for plants. They actually wanted a lot more plants than I gave them. I gave them 25%, which you're happy with, but they would like to have like a lot more plants. But when you look at this build back later, there's like a ton of plants in this. So I digress. And they want a bunch of plants. So I decide, maybe we'll put down some dead trees and maybe that'll get it up to the level they want. But they actually want like they want a lot of plants. And this is 25% coverage is what we got. And they want like 100% coverage, which I don't think is even really possible. But once again, I digress. So I was like, I'm going to put some trees in the middle over here because, the animals are going to need to, the plants are going to need, sunlight so they don't die. And I just put them there, and we'll go back to the plants later. We're doing our basic ice wall over here in the background just so that we can get some snow, because obviously the Siberian tiger is actually, from Siberia, so they love the snow and they love the ice. And I tried to build a ramp here, and this turned out to be quite difficult, but we did get it to work. But this is a ramp that I wanted the Siberian tigers to just climb up on so they can get a perch over the thing. But we keep going in the heat maps, and if you see the blue in the heat maps, that's the area that the tigers can walk on and the zookeepers can see. You see all that blue? That's where they can all walk on. The zookeepers, because we find out later that the tigers can actually walk through some of that. But The zookeepers need to have that blue there, but well, technically they both need it, but the zookeepers do if you want to put anything at the top. So you see there's like a little bit of a blue strip up there. I'm not really liking that. I really want them to have the ability to walk up there. And see, I delete those rocks in the front and boom, they actually can walk up there. See, look at that. And then I take this thing and I just start deleting it and just redoing the thing. And I do this by accident here, but you see that tiger underneath that little ramp? We actually make this a tunnel. So there's actually 2 places the tigers can hide away from guests. One in that little cave tunnel, and then obviously the backstage area, or the actual holding facility for the tigers. So they actually have 2 places to hide away from guests if they so choose. In the back over here, we make the same sort of stylish thing. They can actually jump between blocks here. So if they want to get up, they can. Sadly, the guests are unable to see this because you're going to see how many plants we're putting in. We put more than enough plants in this exhibit. So I wanted to keep this realistic with the lighting scenario because you actually have to have windows so these plants can grow, these trees, these bushes, and all that. And I just start going to town. I tried, what my main concept was to do one strip of glass and then place in, that was going to be it. But then how I looked at it, it doesn't look right. So I sort of did it, have multiple like glass sections. There's like, I think there's 4 glass sections in this roof. So as you see here, we put some trees down and you can kind of see where these glass sections will be coming in at. Is it 4? I can't even remember. You'll see in a couple of minutes here. But, and I'm just starting to put down millions and millions of trees and bushes and stuff all over here. By the way, the closest stuff to the glass, we could say that's plastic because there's actually no way the sunlight can get to that. So you can just say that's plastic. But here I just decided to go full send and place in all the trees and all the bushes here just to make one solid, like long sort of C shape. So that the animals can get some sort of more coverage. This is probably the best exhibits for animals to de-stress, and they actually probably really feel like they're in the environment. But here's the first section that I'm talking about with the glass roof. You see that right there? And then, yeah, this is just one section. I thought I split that up. So there's 3 glass roofs. Pushing these trees in, obviously, so they're not glitching through the roof themselves. And then filling that rest in. But look at this. Doing a little bit more work here on the sides, just to make sure this kind of blends in. The guests can sort of see that door is there. But once again, just move that in. Bring these roofs down just a little bit so they actually match up perfectly. OCD check. And that's pretty much it for the roofing. We're going to go to the guest area and how they can see the animal. Now, this is probably my favorite viewing area from the guests. The second one I would say is probably the hippopotamus because I took very much inspiration from that one and I just bumped it up tenfold. And in this area here, I wanted the doors to be just exactly the same as the Siberian Tiger exhibit, but obviously not have people glitch through. So we put the doors on this side, put the doors on this side. We'll put some garbage bins later on. Or am I doing that now? Yeah, put some garbage bins here. We decided not to use that style garbage bin. We use this stone one. But that will prevent guests from walking between the door. Well, they're going to glitch through the door, but that will prevent them from, like, glitching through the wall, which they like to do because it's actually technically the shortest route for them. Inside here, we're putting down some sort of, it's called smooth stone, but you could say it's like maybe concrete or plastic or, you know, that rubber stuff like at those kids exhibits. Like maybe you like, or not kids exhibits, like at the malls, like at those like fake rubber things. It's kind of soft, but it's not. Oh, another cool feature that we did here is I added in 3 vending machines, 1 ice cream, 1 coffee, and 1 water, and 2 ATMs, so that the guests can get their needs set up and that they can spend some money, because obviously we need to get some money into the zoo to run this exhibit. We experiment with the speakers, but for some reason I could not get the speakers to work. I don't know what I did wrong, and I was just very, very curious about this. So I decided to put in a, what's it called, a solar panel here maybe that was going to fix it, but that didn't fix it either. If you guys know anything about the speakers, let me know, because we got them to work last time, but they're just not working now. Put some donation bins there. That's what you can see. Those blue garbage cans is what I call them. Money cans, what they should be called. So people will drop some donation money in there, and that'll go straight back into the Siberian Tiger exhibit. And put in another sort of display in there. Now here, I wanted to break this up so it's not so flat of a wall as this what did we do last? Snow leopards. So I wanted to give like a little bit of an indent here, as you see it's sort of like a U, an upside down U or something like that. You see how it kind of goes in there? Just because I thought, you know, it needs to be broken up. Here we decided to bring up 2 trims of this building because I just try to give as much details. Oh, so time-lapse is so fast, like, it's so hard to get the information across. But here we have 2 silhouettes for Siberian Tigers, as well as 2 full images of them. Most animals do not have these images, but I always check every episode just to see if they do, and if we do, we put them on the side. So now we're working on the main sign here in the Siberian exhibits. We're going to do our basic drop shadow effect. We take the letters for the animal, and then we just duplicate them. Duplicate them down, make them black, bring them back, and bring them down. And that'll give us that drop shadow effect. I can say every YouTuber, if you need a simple text, something to make it pop out a little bit more, drop shadow is your best friend. You do from whatever angle you want. And it really helps in this zoo. Obviously, we don't need a really big sign because most people in zoos tend to sort of stop at every exhibit. Now, the last thing I wanted to do is I wanted to add in a donation sponsor or whatever you want to say. I have not received any money from this person, but we'll talk a little bit about it more in the live section. But if you are a commenter on any of my videos on Planet Zoo, you want to stick around to that part. I should have that pinned in the time code down below if you just want to skip straight to that. But I'm going to need some help with these sort of donation signs. We're going to jump to the live section, and I'll see you in a second, Fredlings. I hope you enjoyed that time-lapse, Fredlings, because this is probably by far my favorite exhibit so far here in FredTopia Zoo on Planet Zoo. Now, if you just skip to the live section, this is our tiger exhibits, and my goodness, I love it so much. I didn't really realize how great this was going to turn out, and I actually did this all in one day, which usually would take me like a couple days to get creative and stuff. But it's pretty simple, but also very beautiful, especially on the outside. The outside is more simple than the inside. From the outside, you got a nice willow tree over here with some bushes, something simple. And there's actually a connecting facility here for the Siberian tiger, because in theory, this would all be sort of like one facility and sort of built at the same time. And I would like it to sort of have that vibe of, you know, it's always cold in here, nice, you can get away from the sun from outside. And if this was in the winter, did a nice trim here that I was only going to do at the top, and then I put these in here and I was like, how would it look if I doubled that and just moved that up? And it looks fantastic. So this is the entrance, and if you come in here, you can see the snow leopard exhibits, but we're not looking at that today. You can take a right and you can see these beautiful Siberian tigers outline. This looks like more like a puma, but that's definitely a Siberian tiger according to the game. And you come in here and you see this beautiful, absolutely beautiful facility. I think this, oh my goodness, here they are. Oh my goodness, absolutely beautiful tiger. And this was suggested again by Liam. Liam suggested the Siberian tiger. And oh my goodness, it is beautiful. There's 2 tigers in this exhibit. You get a great view from pretty much everywhere. I want to try to get down here without getting all these people in the way. But you can see that there is ice in the background, a nice ramp, and a cave, and trees, and water, and coolers, and more trees, and more plants. And then you got food items, and then it's hard to see in the back over there, but there's another sort of mountain that the tigers can climb on. And you'll notice this is actually the first indoor exhibit that actually has trees and plant life in it. I went back in this time lapse, you might have seen for a fraction of a second, then I went back and it's like, did they snow leopards need trees? They didn't need trees. This Siberian tiger needs 25% of its habitat covered with trees or plant life. So this took me a long time to do. And I was thinking about it realistically. How would this actually be covered in real life? Because these trees would A, have to be fake, or B, have a lot of sunlight. And I didn't want to fill the whole thing up with glass, because that's unrealistic and pretty unstable. So I decided to kind of split these into sections, and during the day, it gets proper coverage of each tree and brush, and gives sunlight to nutritionize the trees, which is something I wasn't planning on doing at Planet Zoo, but I was like, we gotta realistically look at this. And it's perfect, because even though you see all these trees and stuff, it's super hard to see in the background, but if you look really hard enough, you can see that there is the door here, or the tunnel, or the entrance to get into the back stage area of the zoo. But before we get up there, I want to show you some of the items that the Siberian tigers can mess around with, which is one of these is the prey sack. I don't know why. It just doesn't seem like the snow leopards or the tigers like this one. Maybe it's just not as enticing as maybe the little zebra. But regardless, they have the little zebra and a meat sack, prey sack. There so they can mess around. And these are some coolers here. We could have covered these up with some plants or put some rocks here, but it's fine. I don't think it's really that big of a deal. I mean, in real life you would probably see them anyways, or they would be coming from the ceiling, but in this game I just have them there. Obviously this is another exhibit that the Siberian tigers cannot actually see through. I mean, if they really look up there, they can see the people behind it, but I doubt that they will do that. They would see a reflection of themselves if this was real life, because it's a one-way mirror. Oh, here we go. Here's one of our keepers actually filling it up. He just sort of yeeted that on there. Come on, man, what am I paying you? But that's fantastic. Oh, he's just taking a shortcut through here. Oh my goodness. He really be, like, savage. But I think here comes some of the Siberian tigers. I think they're actually coming out here to eat. Oh, holy sh... Oh my gosh. They literally yeeted that again. Oh my gosh. Dude, what was that? Don't eat me, please. Please don't eat me. Oh, look at this. They're getting their fill. They are really getting their fill. But other than me getting really scared there, I really love how this turned out. Look at them. They're just so beautiful. So there's one male, one female in this exhibit. And they're getting their... I didn't know they could run through there. I should have known that, but I didn't know that. But let's take a look at the backside real quick. This is just a stone structure. They can jump up here and climb around if they want. Just want to give something more hidden away. I actually wanted them to be able to see that in the background. Show some depth in this facility, but it didn't turn out that way because they needed so many trees and plants. On the backside, it's a little bit more plain. And, We'll go back here. We'll look at the boring stuff first, and then we'll go to the more exciting stuff. Nice big gate door. I was looking for this for a while, and this is the door that you should imagine that would be here on this door. I can't put that door there realistically because then the animals won't go through it in this game. The staff keepers can go through it, the humans can go through it, but not the animals, which is good, but also negative. So you would say there would be one of these draw doors here, just in case if you needed to quarantine an animal, or bring in another animal from another exhibit, or there needs to be a refurb. So there's a nice place they can sort of hide away. I mean, it's not huge, but they can, construction people can come in here and do some stuff. Now, here is something that I was not planning on seeing, and I think the Siberian tiger is coming over here to do it. And if you see in the time lapse, I actually built this as a solid piece, but the Siberian tiger went in there. She's not going in there now. Tell me this is a girl. Please tell me this one's a girl one. Please, please, please. No, it's the boy! No! I'm sorry! But one of the tigers went in here when I was doing the construction, and there is actually a perfect little hiding spot in here that the Siberian tiger can sleep in. I should actually put some, like, hay in there so they can sleep there if they wanted to. Now, there's just that little cave. I was not planning on doing that, but it turned out quite well. Here's some water over here, too. They can get their refill on that. And I don't know if my Tegicam could go up here, but No, it can't. But there is this nice ramp here where the Siberian Tigers, in theory, can walk up here and sort of hang out and just relax. Now, I say in theory because I'm not really too sure if they are going to do that. There's enough blue here, which, by the way, if it's just, even if there's like little patches of blue, they actually can jump between the patches. Even these little strips of blue means they can walk through it. Even the staff keepers can. And I think if I did a ramp later in the future, it should probably be made out of dirt and not building pieces. But in theory, they can come up here and sort of jump around and look at that. Also, in theory, they can scratch these dead trees, which I was planning on those being fake. Just doing fake trees in here. You know, because obviously they're tigers. They want to get their claws trimmed or, like, scratched. I don't know. But, oh, just absolutely beautiful. And I love how they actually go through. Look at how scary that would be in real life. I literally got scared today on this, but oh my goodness, absolutely beautiful. Now, before we go, I want to show you some more stuff of the exhibit. Now, here are some of these educational signs, seats, donation bins, educational signs at the top. There's a lot of educational signs in this facility, but you can see that it is working out. We obviously need some more bins or educational signs to say, stop with throwing the garbage on the ground. So I'll put a couple more bins down before I go, because I will forget. But we do have, I just saw the keeper in here doing some cleaning. So this is fantastic. And then over here, this is actually the first time we're experimenting with this, and this may be the only reason why people are coming down here, is there is a little shop down here. There is an ATM, a vending machine for Street Fox coffee, and Pip Shot water, and Cosmic Cow ice cream. And look at the ice cream machine. I think there's somebody that's going to buy it. This actually has like a cool little animatronic. So he just goes up, goes in, and he's getting, I guess, strawberry, which is actually a good flavor. And then he goes, yeets. I love the amount of detail in this game. It's absolutely fantastic. How much are these, how much is this making while we're here? It's like $3. We're right now a little bit in the negative, but we've only just turned this machine on. Same thing with these, but as you see by the lines here, we're probably going to make that money back, because they're just more people keep coming in and coming in, which I think that was a good thing, because, and the reason why I picked these flavors is because, you know, you're in the snow, you might think about ice cream, and you might get some ice cream, especially little kids will like ice cream. Some water, obviously you need some water, pop, juices in here. And then coffee, you know, parents might feel cold in this room. You're like, oh, this would be perfect to get hot cocoa or coffee. And then obviously an ATM, so they can pay me. This is the last thing I want to show you till we go to the glamour shots of the animals. And this is the dedication wall or donation board or sponsor board, whatever you want to call it, because in real zoos, usually there's a private donor that takes care of the animal exhibit or pays for it at least. And the reason why we have Game & Botch up here is he's a good friend of mine. He streams on Twitch, and I've talked to him and a bunch of other people, and I said I was going to dedicate the Siberian Tiger exhibit to him because he loves them so much. So thank you, Game & Botch. I want to give back to you guys and give you an exhibit in this zoo. So I'm just dedicating the first one to Game & Botch, but you guys come up with a cool name. Should we call these sponsors, viewers, subscribers, something up here? Come up with a cool name that we could like tag on to this, and let me know which exhibit you want. Which, by the way, Liam and Scary, you've been commenting on like every video so far of the Planet Zoo series, which, by the way, they're all linked in the description. Just let me know which exhibit you want, one that exists or one that hasn't come. This is the beautiful Siberian Tiger exhibit, Fredlings. I hope you enjoyed this episode. Before we go, there will be some live glamour shots of these animals in their habitats. And remember, a real Fredling makes their own luck.